Hey everybody, Deathblade here with a reaction to the Untamed. It has been a really long time since I did one of these, thanks to my daughter coming along and kind of throwing my schedule into chaos. So I'm happy to be finally back doing a reaction video. I had to go back and check some episode synopses to make sure I was remembering the story right. Before I get into the reaction, this video is being sponsored by my novel series. It's a cultivation series called The 9 Heavens and 10 Earths. The first book is The Heretic Peacekeeper. This is the hardcover version, which you can get on Amazon. There's also a paperback as well, and of course ebook that you can get not just on Amazon, but pretty much everywhere. Check the link in the description below or in the pinned comment. Like I said, it's a cultivation series, so it's reminiscent of the Untamed in the cultivation aspect. The setting is very different. While the Untamed is a setting like ancient China, the Heretic Peacekeeper and the 9 Heavens and 10 Earths in general is a cyberpunk setting. That said, it is definitely a cultivation novel, but that cyberpunk element makes it a little bit fresh and different from the standard fare that's out there. Over the years, I've seen a lot of comments from readers saying they wanted something a little different or fresh, which is why I went down that route. The reaction from readers has been really good. Book 1 is available as of this recording. Book 2 is on pre-order and will be out next month as of when this video is being initially released. And I won't go into too much detail about it. Check out the link below. That's one of the best ways to support the channel. And if you have read the book or plan to, please do leave a review if you like it. The reviews are really important. Okay, now on with the reaction video. Something I want to get off my chest is that, okay, I realize that there is not a second season of The Untamed. So why do I call it Season 1? That's because on Netflix they call it Season 1. I will switch over really quickly. You can see here. So as you can see, it's, oops, I just pulled the text off because I moved the mouse. Anyway, the point is that Netflix calls it Season 1. And so that's why I've been calling it Season 1. So I don't want to make any confusion. There isn't a second season out there that I know of. This is just one show, like most Chinese drama shows tend to be. It is raining outside right now. Hopefully that doesn't pick up too much on the mic. In any case, final thing I want to say also is that I know that the subtitles on Netflix are pretty bad and that there are other subtitles out there. So I don't want to harp too much on the language aspects, but I will point out things that I noticed that might be relevant to people who have only watched on Netflix, because obviously there are a lot of people who have only contacted this show through Netflix, me included. Okay, enough jabbering. Let's get on with the reaction.
你在这儿鬼鬼祟祟的干什么？要你管？男子汉大丈夫，抱个兔子成何体统？是啊，我这一个男子汉大丈夫。
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. It's translating this 男子汉大丈夫 as an upright gentleman. Not really the best translation. 男子汉 and 大丈夫, I guess they do carry some of the idea of gentleman, but it's really emphasizing masculinity and manliness. Basically, it's like true man would probably be how I translated it. So what he said was a true man wouldn't be sitting around playing with rabbits, and then he says, well, as a true man, of course it's a little bit more complicated in Chinese because it's 6 characters, and each of those the 6 characters is broken down into 2-3 character words that are both pretty common. So 男子汉 and 大丈夫, both of which are basically kind of similar in the meaning of being a man.
好吧，小兔子，我们先走喽。嘿嘿，
So I kind of like this scene because I think it makes Jiang Cheng like a little bit more likable. You know, to see him holding the rabbit and petting it and stuff, and he doesn't need to do that. And he was making fun of Wuxia for playing with the rabbit. So I don't know. I kind of like that scene. What do you guys think? One thing I like about this show is I think they make a really good use of whatever special effects budget they have. Not literally every single scene. There are some bad CGI scenes from what I remember. But there are some pretty cool ones as well where I feel like they did a good job. What do you guys think about the CGI? I think this bird's pretty cool.
宁怀桑，怎么是你啊？
哎呀，我一听这笑声。
One thing I gotta point out is this guy, he really reminds me of my brother-in-law. there's some differences, but man, every time I see him, I think of him.
就知道肯。
阴铁。
At this point, I am starting to get bored with this episode. It's like they're talking, they're traveling, they're engaging in banter. I'm hoping something exciting is coming.
们，是我们啊！
哎呀，魏兄，你好歹跟我一起回清河嘛！你看这路。
Okay. Okay, everybody. This is Princess Deathbed. Can you say hi to the camera up here? Say hi. She's gonna join me for a couple minutes while Madam Deathbed is working on lunch. Mwah. Is that cool? You like that guy? That's the yin iron. It's a very powerful.
别跟我假惺惺
She seems interested.
你以为我不知道？去照顾一下那头吃人的怪物。
Let me check something here. I'm pretty sure he said 吃人的妖 or something. Let me see.
去照顾一下那头。
Oh, 吃人的怪物. It's kind of weird that they would translate it as cannibal monster because a cannibal is a person who eats a person. This literally just says man-eating monster or person-eating monster. Oh, if there's going to be a monster, maybe we should send you out of the room. Little girl, what do you think? Getting bored? There's scary music now. I think I'm gonna take her out. Okay, I am back, and even though it only took a second in the edited version, I actually had a little bit of a lunch break.
站住！大翻身，我有先有难。
抱歉。
算了。
That was smart. I like that. Very clever.
睡觉，睡觉，你明白吗？睡觉。婆婆。哎。
Okay,
Wow.
like if at this point they don't get the sense that something is really weird, I find that hard to believe. But hey.
哎，魏兄，我总觉得心里不踏实。这什么五天女，她笑得我心里发毛。
So it's interesting. The expression he used there is, let me go back just to get it onto the English translation real quick. He says the dancing statue's smile scares me.
天女，她笑得我心里发毛。
Xin li fa mao, he says, it means to become nervous or scared, but literally in Chinese, xin li fa mao means growing hair in your heart. So there's a lot of really cool expressions in Chinese. When you translate them literally, they're kind of very flavorful. In my translations, sometimes I will translate them literally, sometimes I translate the meaning, sometimes I do both, just because there's so many really cool expressions in Chinese. It's one of the cool things about the language.
谢谢婆婆。
Okay, I have to say, this is like so you're off in the mountains and then you meet a really weird woman who's like twitching and stuff, who then leads you to a scary temple where there's weird statue, and then a guy mysteriously says a whole bunch of mysterious stuff, then leaves. Like, why would you stay there? Why? Okay, I take back what I said about the CGI from before. I forgot there is a lot of not really that great CGI. Okay, I am not trying to be overly critical, but okay, so these are like super powerful cultivators. They just sealed this like giant magical statue. They have all these spells and talismans and different things, and they're just holding the doors shut with their hands. Like, don't they have something that could keep the doors closed? I don't know. I think I'm probably being overly critical at this point. Okay, I guess I was just being a little early in my criticism. Too early in my criticism. Okay, well, maybe my criticism was right. Like, what was the point of him doing that seal thing? It lasted for like 5 seconds. Okay. Alright, so at the end of this episode, I'm trying not to be overly critical. I didn't really like this episode very much. The pacing in the early parts was really weird. It was like during the travelogue, it was like scene of dialogue, cut to completely different location, scene of dialogue, cut to completely different location, scene of dialogue. The first part dragged, then the entire part leading up into this finale, to me, seems so unbelievable. Like, these guys are supposed to be like intelligent, top of the field of cultivators or something, and they just walk right into the most obvious possible trap you could imagine. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What did you think of this episode when you watched it? If you remember it, I'm going to put it on the lower list of the episodes I've seen so far. This is episode 8. I will try to get to episode 9 as soon as I can. I am curious to see where it is going, and I do like the mystery that is developing. That's it for this episode. If you like this kind of content, please do like and subscribe, and also think about checking out the Heretic Peacekeeper link in the description below. See you next time. Godsilla.